Welcome to Productive Joy with Dr. Christy, where fun meets action.
Hi, friends. Welcome to Productive Joy. I had the best interview with a really cool dude. His name is Adam Hill. He tells some pretty corny dad jokes, and that's okay. He also has his own podcast called Flow Over Fear. And I met him through a group called Brand Builders, which was a really great way for me to get started in my business. And one of the things that they did for us is they handed us a list of potential podcasts to be on, and I reached out to all of them. And Adam took a chance on me. And I'm so grateful that he did because I learned a lot from him in the process and then have listened to him since quite a bit. And what I'm learning from all the people that I listen to is to find your authentic self, to be your authentic self, to not try to be something that you're not, and to be okay with your uniqueness. And that's something that Adam did today. We had our conversation today, although you won't hear this at exactly the same time. And I wanted to kind of recap a couple things that he said that I think are powerful. So when he says flow over fear, he doesn't mean that the fear needs to go away. So he faced anxiety. I have a lot of family members who really struggle with anxiety, and anxiety is real. The fear is not something that you can control, but it's something you can influence. So we talked about the difference between your sphere of influence and your sphere of control, and the fact that you have a whole lot more influence than you realize over the things that are scary, that are hard, that are tough. And I hope that by listening, you will recognize that you have some control and influence over what you're facing, whatever that might be. So we talked about that. He actually also named fear. There are 3 different major kinds. There's uncertainty, overwhelm, and self-doubt. And as I heard that, I really thought about, okay, which one am I living in today? And where does that manifest, right? I started a podcast. I don't know what I'm doing. I started a business. I don't know what I'm doing there too, or either. But I am living in the uncertainty, and I am pushing through it and not allowing it to consume me. So I don't know what you're uncertain about right now. Maybe you want to shift careers. Maybe you want to move up in the career you're in. Maybe you want to move down and settle down and not be as busy as you once were. But that feeling of uncertainty is, well, hard. It's also fear evoking, and yet it is influenceable. Is that a word? Influenceable? Able to be influenced. And you can influence it by thoughtfully giving it a name. So I am going to give my uncertainty around becoming whatever it is I'm becoming. I'm going to give that the name of trying new things. Right? Brene Brown talks about the F in first time. I think I've mentioned it before. I'm not going to say what the F stands for, but the FFT is the first time we do anything. And that's fear evoking, right? That's uncertainty. But you only have to do it for the first time once. And if you can push past the first time, then you can do it a second time and a third time and a fourth time and be really successful at it. So my encouragement to you today is that if you're uncertain, or if you are feeling some overwhelm, or if you are having self-doubt, or maybe all 3, give it a name. Call it what it is. I am feeling self-doubt today, and that is manifesting itself in this way, and I am going to overcome it this way. If you give it a name, then you have control over it instead of it having control over you. So there's my 2 cents for today. As in Productive Joy, my goal is to give you a nugget of wisdom, or 2 or 3, that you can use right away to transform your day, to shift your mindset, to reset. And so that's my encouragement to you today, is that you grab a nugget of wisdom. Maybe it's giving your fear a name. Maybe it's recognizing that anxiety is real and that you do have to face it, but it doesn't have to control you. Another thing we talked about was the fact that anxiety and excitement are actually the same emotion. It's just which end of the spectrum you're living in. So maybe it's that you need to focus more on the excitement and less on the anxiety. I don't know what you're going to walk away with, but my hope is that you find some productive joy in it, because my number one goal in all of this is that you figure out a way to turn fun into action.